Gauteng MEC for Education, Sport, Arts and Culture and Recreation, Matome Chiloane, is hosting a School Safety Imbizo at St. Ives Primary School in Kliptown. This will be the first of 4 regional School Safety Imbizos to be held in Gauteng this year at identified schools where MEC Chiloane will address critical safety issues impacting high-risk schools, fostering collaboration with local stakeholders. This is to create a safer educational environment. Let's now cross live to the event.
And really understand each other. So all our grade 5s will be teaching them the basic sign language communication so that they can communicate with their peers, they can communicate with their family members, and so forth. Program Director, Chief Director Makwakwa, the Head of Department, Mr. Rufus Mutlana, and all the senior managers that we have present here from the Department of Education. Honorable Chair of Chairs, thanks for coming through. I know how you feel about this particular community. It's very dear to him, this particular community. And I must say, he's a staunch advocate in the provincial government across, but mainly he's always saying that you can't leave my constituency behind in every opportunity. You know, one case in point, I always remind this thing, is around when we were dealing with the wardens, the crime prevention wardens. He came and approached provincial government and said, no, the wardens can't be mainly Africans or blacks and people. He says there's minorities that need to be considered. So you have to create a special dispensation for minorities to also form part of the wardens. And actually we did that. A significant number of wardens now of coloureds, Indians, 2,500 coloureds, Indians and whites are part of wardens. And that's mainly because of the advocacy by our honourable member, Adams. So the community must know that. The leadership of provincial commissioners or police, is that Lieutenant Colonel? I always struggle with these titles. Now I know them as station commanders or commissioners, but now the ranks have changed. Lieutenant Colonel, Lieutenant General, somewhere there, Brigadier. But yeah, the leadership of the law enforcement agency that we have here, which are very critical stakeholders, the SGBs, principal, teachers, and parents, and all the various NGOs that really work with the Department of Education or Basic Education in general. We are recognized and learn organizations. And I see the media is here, members of the media. I think you are a very important stakeholder to really get this message out there of some of the work that interventions that we're doing. I need to firstly express my gratitude to just come to these communities. It's important. This Imbizo or engagement with yourself, it's long overdue. I remember a few weeks back, there was when they were preparing for this Imbizo, people were communicating that the Imbizo is actually taking place. And really, it signaled to me that the communities, in particular, I know that Kliptown West and Eldos, and generally in the South, there's an urgent need to deal with the challenges that are happening in our schools. Today, we're discussing school safety. We're discussing the parameters that are enforced by this fence around the schools. But we can't discuss school safety without an understanding that the school is a microcosm of the community. What happens in the community always finds itself in our schools. And I'm going to be a bit controversial, you'll agree with me or not. But children, I don't like to use this thing, but they always say, monkey see, monkey do. Kids will always copy whom they see as role models or elders do, and they'll copy it. There is no child that grows up and says, I'm going to be carrying a weapon to a school, unless there's somebody who's older, who's infusing that mentality in the child. There's no child who grows up and says, I'm going to be a drug dealer, or I'm going to sell drugs in the school, unless there's an elder who's telling that child that you can do that and it's correct. And we have to be honest with those reality, with that reality. In these communities, for instance, they say, for example, the gangsterism. You can't say as a parent, you wake up in the morning, you are greeting your child, and you say, wash. And then you expect the child to get to school and say good morning. The child won't say good morning. He's going to say wash because he wants to wash at home. And that's the truth of the matter. Our kids are divided because parents and communities are divided. It's a fact. Our kids will align with what king? Faraday, what? Farados and...
Okay, that is Gauteng MEC for Education, Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation, MEC Chiloane there at the School Safety Imbizo. This is currently happening now in Kliptown, just also taking the moment to address several other issues that are also dominating there the agenda, particularly when we look at learner behavior in schools.